subdued early, the crowd at 12. They did. Oh, little beauty!
When Patrick Reed won the Masters in 2018, he should have been celebrated. That moment, slipping into the legendary green jacket at Augusta, is the dream of every golfer alive. But instead of cheers, there were boos. Instead of respect, there were glares. Fans whispered, fellow players looked away, and the headlines didn't call him a champion. They called him the most hated man in golf. It's one of the strangest stories in sports. A man who climbed to the very top, only to become the villain of his own game. Today, we're diving into how Patrick Reed, a Masters winner and Ryder Cup hero, turned into golf's most polarizing figure. And trust me, some of the twists in this story are hard to believe. Patrick Nathaniel Reed was born in 1990 in San Antonio, Texas. His father gave him a plastic golf club before he could even read. From that moment on, his life had a single purpose: golf. By high school in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Reed wasn't just good, he was dominant. Two-time state champion, winner of the Junior Open, a Rolex All-American, his potential was off the charts. But people noticed something about him. He wasn't just competitive, he was intense. Too intense. Teammates admired his skill, but not his attitude. Even as a teenager, his confidence came across as arrogance. And that reputation followed him everywhere he went. When Reed started college golf at the University of Georgia, he was expected to become a future star. But within 1 year, he was gone. The reasons? It depends on who you ask. Some teammates accused him of cheating during qualifying rounds. Others said he'd taken small things: cash, a watch, items from lockers. There were rumors about alcohol violations. Reed denied the accusations, but the school dismissed him anyway. Then came an unexpected twist. He transferred to Augusta State University, right in the shadow of the Masters course, and instantly transformed the team. Reed led them to 2 national championships and became the backbone of the program. The outcast had become a champion, but the whispers never stopped. And off the course, things were about to get even messier. In his early 20s, Patrick Reed cut off all contact with his parents and his sister. No one knows exactly what happened, but the split was deep. When he married his wife Justine, his family wasn't invited. 4 years later, at the 2014 US Open, his parents showed up with tickets from a friend and were escorted out of the tournament at Justine's request. Imagine that. You're playing in one of the biggest events of your life, and your parents are being removed from the grounds. Even when Reed won the Masters years later, they still weren't welcome. Fans were stunned. Some couldn't understand how a player could keep his own family away from his greatest moments. The perception of Reed as cold, distant, even arrogant grew stronger. Still, his game kept improving. In 2014, he won the WGC Cadillac Championship, one of golf's biggest events, at just 23 years old. He became the youngest player ever to win a World Golf Championship. But what really grabbed headlines wasn't the win, it was what he said after. Standing in front of the camera, Reed declared, "I truly believe I'm one of the top 5 players in the world." At that time, he was ranked 44th. The golf world erupted. Some admired his self-belief. Most saw it as pure arrogance. But Reed didn't back down. He started winning more. He played fearlessly, thrived under pressure, and soon he became a different kind of star, one that America couldn't ignore. At the Ryder Cup, Patrick Reed was electric. He thrived in the chaos, feeding off the crowd's energy. He celebrated every putt, shouted at the stands, and wore his passion on his sleeve. Fans started calling him Captain America. His duel with Rory McIlroy in 2016 became one of the most iconic matches in Ryder Cup history. Two players trading birdies, screaming with adrenaline, pushing each other to the limit. Reed won, and for a brief moment, he wasn't golf's villain. He was its hero. Then came the Masters, 2018. Patrick Reed held off Ricky Fowler and Jordan Spieth to win his first major championship. That Sunday at Augusta, the noise disappeared. It was just Reed, his clubs, and destiny. For once, everyone was focused on his talent, not his reputation. As he walked up the 18th fairway, it felt like he had finally proven the world wrong. But his peace didn't last. A few months later, at the Hero World Challenge, the cameras caught something strange. During a shot from a sand waste area, Reed appeared to brush sand away from behind his ball, twice. The footage looked bad. He insisted it was just a trick of the camera. The officials gave him a 2-stroke penalty, but to fans and players watching, the verdict was already decided. They called it cheating. Analyst Brandel Chambly said it outright. Fellow pro Cameron Smith said he had no sympathy for anyone who cheats. From that point on, Patrick Reed wasn't just disliked, he was branded. And the controversies didn't stop there. In 2021, at the Farmers Insurance Open, Reed claimed his ball was embedded in the rough. He picked it up and took relief after an official approved it. But TV replays clearly showed the ball had bounced before it landed, meaning it probably wasn't embedded at all. Again, Reed hadn't technically broken a rule, but the optics were awful. Fans rolled their eyes, players whispered. The old college rumours came back louder than ever. It wasn't about one mistake anymore, it was about a pattern. Every time something strange happened, Reed seemed to benefit. The trust was gone. Then after joining the controversial LEV Golf Tour in 2022, Reed went to war off the course. He filed a massive lawsuit, $750 million, against Golf Channel and several analysts, including Chambly. He claimed they'd waged a malicious campaign to destroy his reputation. To him, it was about defending himself. To everyone else, it looked like another PR disaster. The case was dismissed, but the damage to his image was permanent. And as if that wasn't enough, the next year brought another headline. The Dubai Desert Classic, 2023. Reed hits his tee shot into a cluster of palm trees. He insists he identified his ball stuck high up in one specific tree. Video replays later suggest it probably landed in another one entirely. Officials sided with him. Fans didn't. Once again, it was Patrick Reed against the world. By now, every grey area decision, every small controversy, felt like proof of who he was to the public. Some called him a cheater, others called him misunderstood, but nobody ignored him. Here's the truth. Patrick Reed is a Masters champion, a Ryder Cup hero, a player with immense skill and an iron stomach for pressure. But he's also the golfer who cut off his family, battled critics in court, and spent his entire career walking the fine line between fair play and controversy. Maybe he's been misunderstood, a player punished for being too aggressive in a sport built on politeness. Or maybe he earned every bit of the criticism. Because in golf, reputation matters just as much as results. And once the world decides you're the villain, it's almost impossible to change their minds. Patrick Reed's story is a reminder that you can reach the very top, win the biggest prize in the game, and still be hated for it. He may have conquered Augusta, but he never conquered the crowd. So what do you think? Is Patrick Reed a victim of unfair judgment or the architect of his own downfall? If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and stick around, because golf history is full of stories just as unbelievable as this one.